Hi everyone, and welcome to another episode of the Resident Rulebreakers. I'm Kayla.
I'm Camille.
And on today's podcast, we are discussing episode 105, which is called None the Wiser. And this episode was written by Todd, Harthan, who's one of the co-EPs of The Resident, and Tianna, Langham, and Chris Bessounian. And the episode was actually directed by James Roday Rodriguez.
James Rodriguez, he's no longer James Roday, so
Yep.
Yay.
It is also the first appearance of Stephen Reddington as Bradley Jenkins.
Yep.
So, hi Stephen. The episode pretty much details a M&M conference, which is a morbid and morbidity conference, where it highlights 3 concurrent surgeries that Mina took a part in, where things went wrong.
Well, Val was the one who made those surgeries all happen together.
Because Claire forced them to.
Right. She had the guy with the testicles. That was the surgery that she was supposed to be doing. Bradley was supposed to be doing something else.
The one with York with the syrup bottle shoved up his ass.
Oh my god. And Belle was supposed to be doing somebody else too.
Christine, she got changed over to Jude, but Jude had another surgery as well, and that guy died on the table. His name was Gus.
It was too much.
It was a lot.
Someone, the woman with the stomach aneurysm was supposed to be.
Yeah, that's Christine.
Right, for Belle, but I thought that Nick tried to switch her.
Nick tried to switch her to Jude, but Jude was in surgery when her blood pressure rose too high, and they had to rush her to surgery and fix it. And that's when Mina had to take over.
Yeah. So much went on in that. Whoever did like the filming, cinematography, or whatever of that whole operating sequence, Bradley falling, blood spurting, Mina running back and forth, everything. I mean, like, genius. You know what I mean?
It was done well. Speaking of Bradley, he falls asleep during York's surgery after working a 30-hour shift, which is very common for interns. And he's already exhausted. He's supposed to go home, and you can hear him talking to Nick in a scene where he's like, "I just want to sleep and sleep some more and sleep some more." But Belle forces him essentially to work way more than he should, and he ends up falling asleep during surgery. This is the beginning of the downfall of Bradley Jenkins.
Yeah, I remember he was drinking. Wasn't he like drinking
Red Bull?
Something?
He was drinking Red Bulls.
Yep. Bradley.
The thing about the syrup bottle, that whole line.
Oh my god.
First off, when he comes in the ER, he's like no nonchalant about the fact that he stuck this king size thing up his rectum, okay? And Devon can't fathom that this has happened.
Yeah, it seems like this is not his first time.
No.
Going up there. But
it was a bottle of steak sauce the last time.
Oh my god. But yeah, this time it was maple syrup. But I guess when Devon pulled it out of his rectum, the top went off. and
stayed inside.
So that's why they had to perform surgery on him so that he could get the syrup out of him. This episode is like very sexual.
Yeah, I mean, there's a plot line where Irving keeps sending these pictures of things shoved up people's rectums to Devon, and Devon's had it. First off, it's a violation of HIPAA to post anything against patients' permission online.
And more than anything, how do you do that? How do you get, like, that doesn't it hurt? Don't you like wanna like?
Yeah, I don't understand it either. I mean,
at some point, stop.
yeah, I don't even want to think about
Okay,
it.
and also if you don't answer that question if you guys are reading this, like if you know how like that works, don't answer. We're just we don't really want to know, but we're just asking. It's a rhetorical question. But yeah, no.
But anyway, surgeries, I mean, the 3 that are mentioned at the Morbid and Morbidity conference, they survive. But Ed has the wrong testicle was removed because the marks that were on it, because he was under so long, Mina was scared if he stayed under much longer, he would die. So the marks that they had on the the proper testicle were wiped off. Jessica is actually in that scene. Wiped off. Yeah, wiped off, and she cut the wrong testicle off, the healthy one. And Christine's still in a vent, I think, at the end of the episode. Her son is being taken care of by Nic.
Yep. That boy is like the unsung hero of that episode. Like the way he was taking care of his mom, the way that he was on the phone making sure his sister is, taken care of. He like literally forced his mom to sit down and, find out what's wrong with her because she was like, I need to go work. Who's going to take care of these hospital bills? I can't afford to miss work. So because I'm sick or whatever. And this is why healthcare
needs to be fixed. But hospitals do have charity care programs. Yep. It's just that a lot of people don't really know how to go about navigating it. I actually had to navigate it myself to have my surgery because I was completely unemployed when it happened.
Yeah.
So because I have a disability, I was able to get some help.
This is why healthcare needs to be fixed, because people are dying because they can't afford to get healthcare. You know what I mean? Or they're afraid.
Yes. Yeah. People put off going to the doctor for long periods of time because they can't afford, one, the health insurance, or I know for a fact that sometimes it's cheaper just to not have the health insurance.
Yeah, but also at the same time, preventable diseases can be fixed or whatever if people were taking care of doctors. But
yep. The next topic we have is Marshall. This is Marshall's first appearance as well. So, hi, Glenn.
Glenn Marshall. Were you surprised when you first saw the episode? Were you surprised to find out that that's his dad, or did you like?
Originally, yes, because they've laid groundwork, and this is like the 5th episode, and they've already laid some groundwork to make us not like this man. Even in this episode, earlier in the episode, Conrad specifically notes that Marshall kept him away from his mom before she passed away. Mm-hmm. So our impression of Marshall is not good. And so we see this man and we're like, and then he's getting pitched a medical device by Bell. He's getting pitched paying for put his name on the cancer wing or whatever by Hunter. And so we obviously know there's tons of money involved, and we know that Marshall's alerted. So there's just all this stuff. And initially, yes, I hated him. But as it went on, I was, but there's some stuff that makes me think back. Like, we need this conversation about the mom. Again, it keeps coming back up. We need to know more about Conrad's mother.
Like I said, they had that whole episode where Conrad woke up from a nightmare. That's the episode. Nightmares.
Halloween episode from season 2.
Yep. Of his mom falling down the stairs or something. I'm not sure. And then he asks Marshall about it. He says that we'll talk about it after surgery. Surgery happened. Where's the conversation? You know what I mean? And it's like, you guys, writers, y'all drop the ball. Pick it back up. Let's all find out what happened to his mother. Other fans.
Was Conrad's perception of what happened skewed?
Yeah. I mean, as a child, our memories are, blurry sometimes.
Yeah.
Marshall promised a conversation. Let's hear it. You know what I mean? Let's see it. Like I said, you drop the ball, pick it up. Fill in the blanks there, writers.
But yeah, this is Marshall's first episode. We see him, and Marshall at the end of the episode says he truly came to Atlanta to reconnect with Conrad.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm guessing he's snooping around trying to see what kind of hospital his son works for. I don't know. To keep tabs on him. The next one is Lily. Lily's in this episode. And this storyline, it's gradually building up to this climax.
Going down.
Yeah. And Nic goes to Conrad and says, look at all these, the overdosing and stuff. And Conrad tells her, but that's what Lane does, blah, blah, blah. He defends her. And so Nic's trying to convince Lily to go get a second opinion because she's not getting any better anytime soon. And you have every right as a patient, if you are not getting better, to go get a second opinion because it's your body.
Yep.
So I think Hunter has manipulated Lily in ways to say, no, I'm the only doctor that can do this for you, or blah, 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 whatever. Because she even says, Hunter's the only one that found my cancer, or whatever. Really?
She didn't have cancer. That's why she's the only one who found it.
Yeah.
Yeah, Amy confirmed that Lily was one of the patients that Lane treated and pretty much tortured for no reason because she had no cancer.
But because Lily did get a second opinion later in a later episode before she died.
Dr. Osner.
Dr. Osner. Yeah. And that was what prompted Hunter to kill her. But Lane takes Nic off all her patients, so she can't influence them, apparently.
Here's the thing. Guilty people are easy to find out that they're guilty because innocent people are not trying to hide things. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
If you're guilty of something, you're doing everything in your power to hide what you're doing. Yeah, it's just crazy to think any other way.
Yeah. And of course, there's some conic in this episode, and I'm bringing it up because, for conic shippers, it's kind of important here. Jude Conrad rift is growing because they're at each other's throats. Nic's trying to get Jude to take over Christine's surgery, and Conrad's for that part, but they're at each other's throats with Nic standing right between them. It's like a metaphor of what's happening. And they're fighting, but they're also, it's over Nic. It's not over anything else. And it just gets on my nerves. I'm like, seriously? I hate this part because I don't like it. And then at the end of the episode, Nic leaves with Jude, and Conrad's jealous. So.
Oh yeah. But I have to admit, I put that on this. It's one of the quotes that Conrad said. I don't want to risk being stuck in a room with my pants down again. Remember, he said when Nic put him in the room.
Yeah, it's a lot. It's a hint to the pilot when she takes him in the room and then pulls his pants down and then leaves him in there.
Yeah, he pulled her into the room, not she pulled him into the room. But yeah, he was like, And they're all making out and stuff. It's just like, take off your shirt. And stuff. It's so hilarious.
But yeah. And then another thing was revealed in this episode. Mina designs her own clothes.
Beautiful dress. That red dress on her skin was so pretty.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the reaction of Devon and Irving is like, Mina. I love that that's an aspect of her character they show, but she ended up she wasn't even supposed to work that day.
No.
And she ended up having to work concurrent surgeries.
3.
Yeah. So
one thing that I noticed during the whole surgery scene is how many times people broke. What is that called? Sterile. Broke sterile. Like the nurses were pushing the door with their hands, with their gloved hands, and the rope and everything. And I'm sitting there going, "What the?" You know what I mean? And I understand that, like, it's a medical drama, and there's creative license or whatever. Like sterile,
Yep. So.
Oh, and Devon's York review.
Yeah. And Devon's like, how can I get this thing removed? And they're like, well, Mina only has one good positive review, and it happens to be from him.
I know, but it's too funny. But yeah, Devon, York review was kind of funny, and he like made fun of his like education, his Ivy League education, his Harvard stuff. But yeah.
Before we go, we just want to say that this is the second podcast we've recorded today. Yes, we just recorded our interview with Bruce Greenwood earlier today.
Yeah.
And thank you, Bruce, for agreeing to be interviewed.
Yeah.
So thank you, Bruce. It was a wonderful interview. It comes out on Labor Day weekend. Labor Day is an American holiday, September 7th.
Yeah,
for our foreign listeners. So
we're so lucky. He gave us an impromptu concert.
Yeah.
But yeah, he gave us an impromptu concert. He told us about his career. Huge Trekkie fans, listen. We're both huge Trekkie fans, so we obviously had to bring up Trekkie questions.
Well, and then of course, he talks about playing Bell. So, and the difference between playing Bell and playing Dr. Griffin on St. Elsewhere back in the 80s. So there is a difference.
Yes, and also he talked about his female co-stars, Melina Kanakaridis. And he told me how to say her name correctly.
Yeah, he talked about Melina and Jane and some BTS info and stuff. Happy quarantining in Canada, Bruce.
He's still in Canada and in quarantine.
So
and he also talked about his birthday. So all of that is all in
there. And so there's that on September 7th, which is 2 weeks away. But next week we're doing 1/6, which is No Matter the Cost. And that episode, we're going to be seeing Mina use her Wakanda skills. Because it's a reference that Shawnet was in Black Panther. So there's that.
We love that episode. I love that movie, Black Panther.
And then, of course, the following week after that is Bruce. And then we have all of September waiting for you. We're going to be having some amazing things after Bruce's interview. We're going to be discussing 1/7, which is the elopement. And that episode's the Me Too episode where Nic gets sexually harassed with the guy that sends her dick pics.
Again, don't understand why anyone would do that. It's gross. Why do like men seriously think that? Okay, I'm gonna take a picture of my junk, send it to the girl, and she's gonna fall in love with me. You know what I mean?
And then the following week, that would be the 21st, we will be discussing 1/8, which is Family Affair, which is Devon's parents make their first appearance on the show.
Yeah.
And then we're going to be jumping an episode to 110 because we did 19 back in May when we discussed Lost Love for Conic Month. So we've already done that episode. So 110, which is Haunted, which is dealing with the issues Conrad's dealing with because Lily died.
Yeah. And it stars Sleaziak. What's her name? Erica Sleaziak?
Yeah, his mentor.
One Life to Live fans, you might recognize her. But Erica Sleaziak is guest starring in 110.
Yep. So we're moving right along through first season here.
Yeah. We love the podcast. We're so grateful to the fans, and we're really grateful to the people that entrusted us with, their interviews, with their stories or whatever. Because we're just fans. We're not journalists or anything.
Well, no. I mean, we both live really normal lives.
Yeah.
I mean, I still work full time, 5 days a week.
Yeah. So, but anyway, but it's a lot of work. This podcasting is a lot of work.
Yeah.
Yeah. Kayla does the post-production.
That's all me.
I do the podcast. I do a lot of the social media posting, but that's it.
Speaking of our social media, follow us on Instagram. Thank you to all the new Instagram followers we've had over the past week. Thank you, Malcolm, for all the support.
Yeah, Malcolm, more power to you. Love you.
So thank you so much for all the support. And keep following us, please, because Bruce's interview is coming.
Yeah.
Also, and follow along with the show. If you haven't watched the show, then follow along with us.
Follow us even if we stop interviewing people. We're not going to interview every week.
Yeah, exactly. So there's that. Then you can also follow Camille on the Resident on Fox Fans.
Yeah.
And then you can follow me on @KBCountry37.
Yeah.
And then our Facebook page, which is the Resident Rulebreakers podcast, and it's connected to our Facebook group, which is the Resident Fox Fans. So like us and join the group if you haven't already. Answer all 4 questions fully, or you will be denied.
Yeah. Mixed.
And then, of course, there's our Twitter account, which we put all the information that we put on Instagram and Facebook on Twitter. Yes. So there's every social media platform that we have, the information is there. And it's @Resident Podcast.
Yes. We're like growing. So and it's good. It's good to grow.
It's good. There is a Patreon account that we have to help fund the growth of the podcast. When we noticed it started to grow faster than we both thought it would ever do, we set it up. We know that someone out there can help us keep the podcast funded. Just $1. $1 a month is all you need to do. And so if enough people do $1 a month, we have enough money to keep it rolling. And if you are a patron on our Patreon account, we will work to give you stuff, perks and stuff.
Yeah, we'll post some bloopers and stuff. Like for our Malcolm interview, we might post the parts where we both had hurricane warnings. Thunderstorm warnings go off in the middle of the interview. We're not joking with you guys when we tell you we had, God bringing you to our podcast.
And you know what's funny about hurricanes? I'm supposed to have another one coming next week.
Yeah.
Lovely. 2 of them, actually.
In South Carolina. I live in Hawaii. We're both hurricane people.
So there's that. Oh yeah, and the link www.patreon.com/the Resident Podcast.
Yep.
And then of course, subscribe to us on the platforms we are on, which is SoundCloud, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Play, and we're on YouTube. So, and then you can contact us via email as well, theresidentRulebreakers@gmail.com. Tune in next week when we discuss No Matter the Cost, which is episode 16. So, until next week, I'm Kayla.
And man.
Bye, guys.
Bye. Adios.